Imagine you're standing in front of a house. It looks like a mansion that's been abandoned, or a little dollhouse in a picture book. As you walk through this house, you're going to learn something about yourself in every room. And when you exit as a different person. Not necessarily a better person, but just a changed person with a deeper understanding of yourself. So get your pen and your journal ready, and let's go. So you open the door, and you find yourself in the entrance hall. First question that you have to answer is, what's something you want validation for, but you haven't received yet? The second question is, do you think that lying has its benefits? What's the biggest lie you've ever told, and do you regret it? You walk down the hall and you enter. There's a picture of a past lover on the wall, some exes, some summer flings. You have regrets about some of them. What's something you'd like to say to them? You look down and you see a table in front of you. There's an object on it. What is it? This object is a representation of something you've fallen out of love with. So not a person, but a thing. So maybe it's a violin, maybe it's a pen, or a scuba mask, or a baseball. It represents something in your life that you no longer do. Why do you think that happened? Next to the item, there's a drawing that you made as a small child. It's one of those little crayon drawings that you did in school, and you had to draw yourself in your dream job, and it looks kind of sloppy. But what are you doing? What did you want to be as a kid growing up? And what would they say about your life now? You walk away and you open the next door. Everywhere you look, there's pictures of yourself. Some look a little distorted. You look stretched out, or the image wobbles and you look a bit weird. The first question you have to answer is, what do you attribute your biggest successes in life to? What about your biggest failures? As you look at yourself in the mirror, do you think that you think about yourself too much? And do you think that reflecting too much in your life can actually be harmful? In what way? You walk up close to one of the mirrors and you stare at your face, and you look at the scar of an old pimple you popped on your chin. Do you think that jealousy is ever a good thing? Do you think vanity is ever a good thing? Do you like how jealous you are? You turn away and you push the next door, and you find yourself in a garden. You're in a beautiful orchard, and there's lovely fruits hanging from the trees. The fruit looks ripe, and it beckons you. What's something taboo you've always wanted to do? You turn to your left and you see an intricate stone fountain bubbling in the corner. You look down at it and you see little coins winking at you. What's a material desire that you're ashamed is something that really matters a lot to you? It could be money, it could be looks, fame, prestige. You walk to the opposite end of the courtyard and you open the door. And you step through and you're in the library. Before I continue, I want to take a moment to tell you about the paid partner of this video, BetterHelp. As someone who's handled a lot during school, I know firsthand how stressful and intense it can be. I was studying for my exams and working at the same time, and it led to me feeling really burnt out. And looking back, I really wish I had reached out to a therapist instead of trying to power through on my own. It made me incredibly tired and stressed, and I could have handled it in a much better way. I didn't want to worry my parents, and so I didn't ask them for help. I felt quite isolated not knowing who to turn to, and I felt like I had to put up a front. This is where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp connects you with a credentialed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, you go to their site, and you can use my link, betterhelp.com/888crystal. You answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your home. Visit betterhelp.com/888crystal or choose 888crystal during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Now back to the video. If you can teach everyone in the world a single concept or idea, what would you teach, and what impact do you think this would have on humanity? You walk towards the dusty row of books. Do you think that we should be maximizing productivity? What else should we try as a society to maximize, if not productivity? You run your hand over the shelves of books and you find that your fingers are covered in dust. What's the best piece of advice that you've been given, and how do you use it in your life? Do you use it in your life? You turn away from the beautiful rows of books and you go through the next door. You find yourself in another hallway. The hallway is long and barren, and you can hear footsteps echoing as you walk down it. Do you think that people have to live up to their potential, or should we just do things that make us happy? Do you think you should live life with the goal of avoiding pain? Why or why not? What about living life with the goal of seeking pleasure? Why or why not? You reach the room at the end of the hall and you open the door. There's a plush carpet on the floor, and you can see a large oak desk. There's a breeze billowing in from the open window, and with it comes sand and dust, which is gathered in huge piles in the corners of the room. You step forward and you can hear glass crunch under your feet. You see something sitting on the desk, and after a while you realize it's a time capsule. What would you put in your time capsule if it was for you to open in 40 years' time? And what would you put in it if it was for strangers to open in 1,000 years' time? You walk into the next room, and you're in what looks to be a child's playroom. There are discarded toys lying on the ground, and there's a rocking horse in the corner. What's an activity or hobby that makes you feel like you're living life to the fullest? If every job was paid the same, what would you be doing? If not a job, what other hobby or activity would you pass your time with? Do you think happiness should come easy to us, or do you think you have to work hard to find it? You walk to the opposite end of the room, and you push the door. You can see the castle grounds sweeping out in front of you. Through the fog, you can just make out the outline of trees, and you start making your way towards them. As you leave the house behind, what do you think about living life to the fullest? How do you plan to implement this, and what you've learned on this journey? You feel change as you leave the house, like you've left a piece of yourself behind. You don't know if you feel lighter or heavier, but just different.